Hello, this is Elena Yusupova, and I am back with our monthly Cellframe NewsBlock. Today we'll update you on the latest news about everything our teams have been working on. We will go through all the projects developing in the Cellframe ecosystem and then touch on marketing. Let's go! First, we will take a look at web development. We tested the UI on the voting side, and we are now testing the voting functionality on the rating network. On the Cellframe website, visual bugs have been fixed, the layout was brought to uniformity. We continue to redesign our ecosystem's websites. The Explorer website now has a graph of the number of transactions, and on the Cellframe staking side, there is a new scrolling list of stakes. Moving on to dashboard updates. The team removed the dependency between Cellframe dashboard and Node. This will allow you to install the Node and dashboard package separately, without having to uninstall everything. The applications are now less dependent on each other, which means that they can be updated separately from each other. After installing, they can easily find each other. Now the team is in the process of developing a new feature for launching a masternode through the Cellframe dashboard interface. Here what's ready so far. New data model for storing masternode network information. Main screen for displaying information about the masternode. Interface for working with orders. Global model with certificate types. Page with the completion of masternode creation. Model for displaying and filtering orders. Panel with transaction history for the masternode wallet. A mechanism for searching for node and downloading it if it doesn't exist. There are two options for connecting the node. In the first case, the user first downloads the node, then dashboard, which quickly finds it. If the user has already downloaded dashboard before installing the node, dashboard will detect it. If the node is not yet installed on the PC, dashboard will find it on the network and offer to install it. Now the team is working on the algorithm for launching the masternode and preparing a stepper mechanism to move between stages of launching the node. This will make running a node easier and more consistent, even for beginners. In addition, now you don't need to enter an ID when requesting a dashboard and node version via Web3 API. And of course, the team also fixed a bunch of bugs. For example, they fixed an error when deleting some DEX orders, as well as a problem with creating and restoring wallets. On Cellframe Node and SDK, we checked the code with a static analyzer and fixed all the problems found. Here's other new features that team managed to implement in the past month. Created a command handler via JSON RPC protocol for DAG and token commands. Added information to the mempool output for voting transactions. Unified the time output format in CLI commands. An error message that pops up when ordering an unstake if the fee is greater than the reward. Error output when using Cellframe Node tool to create certificates and public keys. And these are some of the bugs they fixed. A problem launching the Notify server on macOS. Eliminated the reasons for node crashes. Memory leaks. The long answer problem. For this purpose, the priority of the CLI in the proc threads were increased. Output of the token into command. Up-to-date information about the token is now displayed. Now the network synchronization status is reflected correctly. Replaced mutex with TLS in the Sphinx Plus signature. In other news, refactoring of staking plugins for Node version 5.3 continues. What have we done already? Implemented the output of all available single and LP stakes in the backbone network. We reviewed and began optimizing the rewards calculation algorithm. Implemented a new logic for dividing tokens into groups when writing stakes to the database. And here is what the team finished for the configurator. Implemented NSIS installer for Node, debugged the configurator on Windows and macOS, added checkboxes for selecting network installations, implemented a launch system to enable disable start and stop service for Linux and Windows. Now let's talk about how July went in the Cellframe ecosystem projects. Much of the work the KelVPN team did over the past month concerns the usability of the service. Work has begun in the KelVPN wiki. Its structure has been laid out. The team improved scaling for macOS and Windows. There is a new transaction overview form, data collection and display. They added auto-detection of user location to select the best server automatically. In case of an error, the user can still select the country manually. The location is stored on the user's device and is determined based on the IP address in the local database. The Nois team has begun the pre-sale of Nois tokens. The pre-sale of Nois tokens and a new dashboard for checking investor information is now available on Node.sys.io. The first pre-sale round ends on August 23, after which the price of tokens will increase. The updated Node.sys white paper was published with the conditions for future network validators. An updated roadmap has been published with the team's current plans and objectives for 2024. The team also regularly posts on social media, conducts summer sessions, and has its own podcast. See the description of this video for links to all videos and social networks. And finally, this July, Nois celebrated its second birthday. The Cellframe and Demlabs teams congratulated our partners very warmly in our office in Akademgorodok. The DotFlat team has published a series of detailed posts discussing the tokens, the Oracle system, and why DotFlat is a stable and reliable currency. The white paper draft is also ready. And now to marketing. There was a new exchange listing. The Cell coin is now available for trading on the Bitmart exchange. Trading of the Cell USDT pair officially started on July 2. We continued to expand partnerships and participate in MS sessions. We are actively growing our community and expanding our audience. In July, we held several broadcasts with crypto communities where we discussed our plans and answered community questions. With the Arab community Satoshi Art, with the Turkish community Crypto Eagles, and with the crypto community Crypto Astronaut. We recently announced our participation in this year Blockchains Live 2024 and shared a discount code for the event. The forum will be held in Dubai in October 22-23, and the Cellframe team is participating with Startup Pitch sponsor status this year. And finally, we held our traditional MS session with the head of the Cellframe project, Dmitry Gerasimov. As usual, Dmitry answered questions that you sent in advance and asked in the chat during the broadcast. The recording of the broadcast is available on our YouTube channel. Subscribe to our social networks to keep abreast of all the news and be the first to know about our achievements. See you in September!